Dr. Aris Thorne, a name whispered with both reverence and caution in the hallowed halls of astrophysics, was a man consumed by the cosmos. His brilliance was undeniable, his theories groundbreaking, yet an unyielding reclusiveness had long defined him. Aris, a solitary figure, found solace only in the cold, silent expanse of space, particularly in his relentless pursuit of a distant cosmic anomaly. This obsession wasn't merely academic, it was deeply personal, fueled by the unexplained disappearance of his family years ago. He harbored a profound, almost desperate belief that the anomaly held the answers, a cosmic Rosetta Stone to his unbearable loss. His research, while revolutionary, often teetered on the edge of ethical boundaries, a testament to his singular, unyielding focus. Then, it happened. A signal. Not just any signal, but an unprecedented transmission emanating directly from the anomaly he had dedicated his life to. It was unlike anything ever recorded, a complex, evolving pattern that pulsed with an undeniable intelligence. Aris felt a jolt of vindication, a tremor of discovery that reverberated through his very being. He immediately reached out to Dr. Lena Petrova, his former mentor, a woman whose cautious yet respected scientific mind he trusted implicitly. Lena, however, dismissed his findings with a wave of her hand, attributing them to signal noise or, worse, a delusion born from his increasingly isolated state. Her skepticism, though rooted in scientific rigor, stung Aris deeply. Undeterred, Aris plunged deeper into his research, pouring every ounce of his energy and every available resource into deciphering the burgeoning signal. His health deteriorated, his reputation fractured, and the lines between genius and madness blurred further with each passing day. Colleagues, once admiring, now cast wary glances, their concern morphing into fear for his escalating obsession. It was during this period of increasing isolation that a shadowy entity, Omnicorp, began to express an unusual interest in his work. They offered limitless funding, a tantalizing proposition, but the strings attached felt heavy, almost suffocating. Aris, desperate for resources, found himself entangled in their web. In his growing desperation, Aris confided in Elias, his bright, ambitious protege. Elias, a young scientist with a hunger for advancement, listened intently, offering support and encouragement. However, unknown to Aris, Elias harbored a secret. He was an operative for Omnicorp. Believing he was advancing scientific understanding, Elias systematically leaked crucial data from Aris's lab to the corporation. He was unaware of Omnicorp's true, sinister intentions, seeing only the promise of unfettered research. Slowly, Aris began to suspect external interference. Equipment malfunctioned with increasing frequency, vital data files vanished without a trace, and a creeping paranoia began to settle in his mind. The feeling of being watched, of being undermined, grew stronger with each passing day. Despite the sabotage, Aris made a critical breakthrough. He deciphered a fragment of the signal, and what he found sent a chill down his spine. It was a warning, a desperate plea for help, and a chilling revelation about the anomaly's true nature. The cosmic entity was not merely a passive object of study. It was something far more profound, and it was in danger. With trembling hands, Aris attempted to broadcast his findings, to warn the world, but as his fingers hovered over the console, the lab's security systems flickered, then died. A sudden, violent intrusion. The transmission abruptly cut out, leaving behind only a fragmented message echoing into the void, a chilling testament to his final, desperate attempt to communicate. A profound sense of unease settled over the silent airwaves, a premonition of the darkness that had just descended. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The world awoke to silence where Aris Thorne's desperate plea had been. His lab, once a beacon of groundbreaking research, now stood empty, a testament to a truth too dangerous to be heard. Officially, Dr. Aris Thorne was declared missing, presumed dead, a brilliant mind lost to the abyss of his own obsession. Omnicorp, swift and ruthless, moved in. They seized his entire body of research, meticulously scrubbing any mention of the anomaly's true nature. Publicly, they dismissed his findings as the ramblings of a madman, a tragic descent into delusion. They painted him as a cautionary tale, a genius undone by his own hubris. Dr. Lena Petrova, however, carried the fragmented echo of Aris's last transmission in her heart. Guilt gnawed at her, a bitter companion for her initial dismissal of his claims. She couldn't shake the unsettling feeling that she had failed him. Driven by this remorse, Lena began her own quiet investigation, a shadow pursuit of the truth behind the official narrative. She meticulously sifted through the wreckage of Aris's abandoned lab, finding discrepancies in Omnicorp's hastily prepared reports. Amidst the chaos, a hidden compartment yielded a coded message, scrawled in Aris's frantic hand. The message was cryptic but undeniably pointed towards Elias and, more ominously, Omnicorp. A cold dread settled over Lena as the true scale of Omnicorp's deception began to unfurl before her, revealing the profound danger Aris had been in. Meanwhile, Elias, now deeply embedded within Omnicorp, found himself caught in a gilded cage. The initial thrill of working for the powerful corporation had curdled into a bitter taste of regret. He witnessed firsthand Omnicorp's ruthless methods, their chilling manipulation of Aris's research for sinister, undisclosed purposes. The ambition that had once fueled him now felt like a heavy chain. A gnawing guilt festered within him, a constant reminder of his betrayal. Then, a cryptic message hidden within Aris's old digital files, a message specifically for him, appeared. It spoke of deep space, of ancient entities, and of Omnicorp's terrifying plan to weaponize what Aris had only sought to understand. The message revealed the true threat, not just to Aris, but to humanity itself. Elias felt a cold sweat prickle his skin. He had been a pawn, manipulated by a force far more insidious than he could have imagined. As Lena and Elias grappled with their respective truths, the signal from the cosmic anomaly intensified. It was no longer a faint whisper, but a resonant hum, subtly affecting global communications, causing inexplicable weather patterns, and even triggering strange animal migrations. Lena, poring over Aris's remaining data, made a chilling discovery. The anomaly wasn't merely a signal source. It was an entity, a living, breathing cosmic intelligence, and it was reacting to Omnicorp's increasingly aggressive interference. Aris's last message had hinted at a profound connection between the anomaly and his family's disappearance years ago, a connection Omnicorp was now shamelessly exploiting, twisting it for their own nefarious gain. The cosmic entity, once a distant mystery, was becoming an active participant in their terrestrial drama. A glimmer of hope, fragile yet persistent, began to emerge. Lena, casting aside her caution, reached out to a clandestine network of independent scientists, individuals who, like her, harbored deep suspicions about Omnicorp's sudden rise to power and their opaque operations. Together, they began to piece together the fragmented remnants of Aris's research, connecting the dots that Omnicorp had so carefully tried to erase. The realization dawned on them. Aris was not only close to a monumental discovery, but he might still be alive, a captive of Omnicorp's ambition. The anomaly's influence surged, a cosmic crescendo hinting at a coming event, a terrifying convergence of fate and technology that would soon engulf them all. Lena, her heart pounding with a mixture of dread and determination, finally confronted Elias. The sterile, hushed environment of the independent scientific network's safe house offered little comfort against the storm brewing inside her. She laid bare the evidence she had painstakingly gathered. Omnicorp's web of lies, their ruthless exploitation of Aris's research, and the imminent danger they posed to the very fabric of existence. Elias listened, his face a canvas of conflicting emotions, shock, shame, and a burgeoning terror. The weight of his unwitting complicity pressed down on him, suffocating his former ambition. He saw the full, horrifying scope of Omnicorp's manipulation, not just of Aris, but of him, a naive pawn in their grand, destructive game. The guilt, once a festering wound, now erupted into a torrent of self-reproach. He agreed, his voice hoarse with newfound resolve, to help Lena expose Omnicorp, to seek a desperate, belated redemption. Their plan was audacious, fraught with peril: access Omnicorp's central servers and broadcast Aris's complete findings, coupled with irrefutable proof of the corporation's illicit activities, to the entire world. Meanwhile, Omnicorp, oblivious to the brewing rebellion within its ranks, accelerated its project. Their ambition knew no bounds. They sought to not just understand the anomaly, but to harness its immense power for their own nefarious ends, a dangerous game of cosmic hubris. The anomaly's influence, once subtle, became undeniably overt. Global communication networks flickered and failed, weather patterns became violently unpredictable, and a pervasive sense of unease settled over the planet. Panic began to ripple through populations as the strange phenomena escalated. Lena and Elias understood the urgency. They were in a desperate race against time. Every passing moment brought humanity closer to an irreversible precipice. Their target? Omnicorp's heavily guarded, seemingly impenetrable central facility, the heart of their operation. Under the cloak of a manufactured digital blackout, Lena and Elias infiltrated the Omnicorp facility. The air inside crackled with an oppressive energy, a palpable hum of advanced technology and something far older, far more powerful. Deep within the labyrinthine corridors, they found him. Aris, alive, but a mere shadow of his former self, gaunt and weakened, held captive in a containment cell that pulsed with strange alien light. His eyes, though weary, held a fierce spark of defiance. He revealed the full, terrifying truth in hushed, urgent tones. The anomaly was not merely a signal, not just an entity, but a sentient cosmic guardian, ancient beyond human comprehension. Omnicorp's reckless attempts to control it were not just disturbing its peace, they were awakening its destructive potential, pushing it towards a cataclysmic response. As Aris spoke, alarms blared through the facility. Omnicorp security forces swarmed, their heavy footsteps echoing through the metallic halls. A desperate struggle ensued, a frantic battle against overwhelming odds. Omnicorp's objective was clear: stop the broadcast, silence the truth, and seize complete control of the awakening anomaly. But Aris, drawing upon a hidden reservoir of strength, his eyes fixed on Lena and Elias, provided crucial access codes, guiding their trembling fingers to the console. With his last ounce of strength, he channeled the remaining energy of the anomaly, creating a momentary surge that bypassed Omnicorp's firewalls. Lena and Elias, working in a desperate, synchronized dance, initiated the global broadcast. The complete, uncensored transmission, Aris's final desperate message, coupled with Omnicorp's damning data, surged across the world's airwaves, a beacon of truth shattering the darkness. The world reeled. Shock, fear, and outrage erupted as Aris's final message, amplified by the undeniable evidence of Omnicorp's treachery, flooded every screen and speaker. Omnicorp, stripped bare of its secrecy and power, crumbled. Its leaders, exposed and reviled, were systematically arrested, their empire dismantled. The anomaly, now fully awakened, stabilized. Its true nature, that of a benevolent, albeit immensely powerful, cosmic entity, became clear, no longer a threat, but a silent observer, a distant guardian. Aris Thorne, though physically gone, became a martyr, his sacrifice not in vain. His profound act of defiance led to humanity's greater understanding of the cosmos, a humbling realization of their place in the universe, and a renewed sense of global unity against forces that sought to exploit knowledge for power. Lena and Elias, forever bound by their shared ordeal, dedicated their lives to ensuring humanity learned from the past, standing as vigilant guardians against both cosmic threats and the insidious greed of corporations. The universe, once a cold, distant mystery, now held both wonder and a solemn warning, a legacy etched in the stars by a brilliant, courageous mind.